Welcome to the first episode of Evening's Drinks, where we've actually made our own drinks. Yeah, don't do that the whole time, please.
Yeah, I wasn't going to.
Okay. So, these are the Double Cherry Bomb and the Zombie Slide. To make the Double Cherry Bomb, you'll mix 6 ounces of Smirnoff Black Cherry, 5 ounces of cranberry pomegranate juice, 2.5 ounces of Sprite, 1.5 ounces of cherry Grand Marnier, 1 ounce of SoCo, 1 ounce of grenadine, slightly more than 0.5 ounces of gin, and 0.5 ounces of 100 proof rum. We used Captain Morgan's. So, let's start out with Double Cherry Bomb. Well, it's definitely sweet. I'll give it that.
I'm not sure I like it.
But I'm not sure I dislike it either.
Nah. I mean, I'd more lean towards disliking it than liking it, but...
It's sweet, it's interesting, but it has a definite tang to it.
Now I want your face.
So for
taste?
Yeah. I don't know, I kind of like it actually, the more I drink it.
I'm not a fan of the taste.
Alright, if there are dessert wines, this to me is the epitome of a dessert mixed drink.
It's not sweet enough in my opinion for that.
Really?
I'm not getting so much sweet. The candy corn is sweet. This I'm not getting quite as much of that out of.
I'm definitely getting sweet.
I'm definitely getting the notes of it, but not overwhelmingly sweet like I think of a dessert drink to be.
The gin and rum help cut down somewhat on the sweetness, but...
That might almost be why I don't like it though, is it's almost like the sweetness and those conflict too much on my taste buds.
I think they conflict nicely. I think they give it a more rounded flavor.
There's rounded flavor, and then there's all the flavors here. I'm not sure I like it.
So true, we might have accidentally had too many ingredients. I mean, we can say right now, ease is 7? No, you didn't have to set out. You didn't have to set out fire, but there was a lot of measurements.
There was a lot of measurements. The way you had originally written them down was annoying to do the math for.
7.
7, yeah. I was getting annoyed with that and I wasn't even making it.
But on taste, I really want to say a 4.
I'm giving it a 6. It's not bad, but it's not great.
Alright. Cost. That's a lot of ingredients. And Grand Marnier is expensive, but Sprite is cheap, but...
The cranberry stuff wasn't that bad. Everything else was about average for spirits.
But Grand Marnier is a big ingredient.
Don't forget to leave some so we can put them right after each other near the end.
Yeah.
I'm making sure because I have them on myself already.
I'd give cost another 7.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Could have been a lot worse. We could have been using Rumple Mints in here or something.
Drinkability. I find this incredibly drinkable.
I can't take more than like a mouthful at a time. I have to like let my mouth relax after each of them. And I'm not like, yeah, I can go for another. And
Does yours
drink
taste different than mine? Like, did we mix them differently? I'm putting drinkability down as a 3.
I'd say 5. I can't really have more than just a mouthful or 2 at a time.
Alright. Likelihood of making me an alcoholic. There's too many ingredients. It tastes good, but I wouldn't want it all the time.
Unless I'm gonna be mixing this by the bottle, no.
I'll say another 7.
Yeah, 7.
Our second drink is the Zombie Slide. For the Zombie Slide, you will combine 4 CL of milk, 4 CL of Kahlua, 8 CL of Tippy Cow, 2 CL of honey whiskey, and 1 CL of peppermint schnapps. Once mixed together, place it in a blender, add ice to taste, and then once blended and poured into the drink, drink with a candy corn. Candy corn. Oh, it managed just to sit on top. We did make it thick enough this time. We've had a couple times where we made it and it was not thick enough to have the candy corn sit on top.
Well, you can tell that milk's the main ingredient. This is delicious.
It's getting in my mustache.
Your mustache is getting in it, don't worry.
Whoa.
What?
So...
Don't chew it. I forgot that.
So first off, with the problem with the candy corn is it does taste good with the drink, but you have to let it warm back up in your mouth or it will break your teeth.
I don't think it went that far for me.
So my first couple sips, I was like, oh, this just tastes like milk and ice. And then I got a little bit lower and I was like, oh, this tastes like alcohol and chocolate.
You got a brain freeze.
To be fair, tasting like alcohol and chocolate isn't a bad thing in my book.
Brain freezes are a bad thing in my book. I'll get back to you when I can see.
Alright, he's a little stuck on one note. We're gonna wait a minute until he can think. So we had a suggestion from the peanut gallery that you put the candy corn in your mouth, then you take a drink. Just did it. It works. Really works. Now, admittedly, we're using Indian corn, not candy corn.
Because it's better.
Because it's better. Plus, the chocolate difference in the Indian corn tastes better with the chocolate notes that you get out of the drink.
You know, any drink like this, I can't rate high on drinkability because I get brain freezes too easily.
So taste,
I like it.
I give that a solid 4.
3. I like milk. This has a lot of milk.
But it also has a lot of chocolate in it.
I mainly taste the milk still, I'll be honest. Bitter. I can taste the other flavors, but I can really taste the milk over them. I like them.
But then milk doesn't mix well with the candy corn.
Yes, it does.
I don't think it does.
Oh, what I'm tasting is milk mixes with it.
Alright, so I say 4, you say 3.
Okay, not bad.
Cost. Milk, Kahlua, honey whiskey, rumple mints, or peppermint schnapps.
If we went rumple mints, probably more. Get out of here, stop licking me.
And candy corn. It's not very expensive. I mean, the candy corn.
You next, man.
The candy corn's a little bit prohibitive because you can't really get candy corn out of season.
For some reason.
I don't know why they don't sell candy corn year round. I buy it.
Yeah, but you're crazy.
Candy corn is good.
That doesn't change the fact that you're crazy.
Cost, it's not that bad. It's not the best we've had, but 4?
Yeah, 4 makes sense.
Ease. So adding the ice is a little annoying, especially because you can't add enough to really make it slushy the first time.
At least with the amount we made in our size of container.
So you may want to shrink the recipe further than we did. When we first made the drink, we were
like 12 cups out of the...
We're like, here's how much fills a pint glass, so that's how much liquid we need. So we did all the math to figure out how much liquid we needed. We took that liquid, and we put it all into the thing and added the ice. And we got 7.5 glasses out of it.
Thing here being a blender, just in case we were confused.
Ninja blender. We said, okay, 7.5. So if we cut all of our numbers down to a quarter of what they were, we'll have the right amount.
No.
To be fair, we still did increase our numbers slightly because we were making one for our dad. But we ended up with about 4 glasses to 4.5 glasses worth.
That weren't quite thick enough.
So cut everything down even further than we already did.
Unless you want to make a lot of it. I mean...
If you want to make a lot of it,
I can't really have 2 frozen drinks in a row, but that's just because they remind me too much of my cold, icy soul. I need to warm my stomach back up.
Mixing, it wasn't hard to mix. Adding the ice was a pain because it makes it very difficult to tell how much you're going to end up with, but it wasn't that bad. I'd say it's a 6.
I mean, I'd go with 5 just because I'm kind of used to this. It's similar to fraps, so...
Okay.
I've worked with those, so they aren't too bad in my book. So I'd say 5 at best.
Now the problem with frozen drinks.
Drinkability. That's why I don't like daiquiris.
You want to go first?
I'd go with 7 because brain freezes, but it's still delicious and I want to keep drinking more.
I think it's more drinkable, but I'd much rather be drinking this in the summer as compared to when it's like 37 degrees outside.
I want to say it was 38 when I ran to get the Kahlua.
Yeah.
And all the 3 people that noticed my sandals were looking at me like, how much crack is this guy on?
So, it's cold. This is cold. I don't want to be cold. I'm going to say that the drinkability is a 5. It's not hard to drink, it's just that it's cold to me. It's cold out, I'm cold, it's hard to drink something that's also cold.
My issue is a lot of the time though, I'm really bad with brain freezes. I get them like right here, the stabbing pain. It's delicious, but it has that against it.
So likelihood of making me an alcoholic.
I mean, the fact that it's a seasonal drink kind of cuts down on it.
So, alcoholic.
Yeah, seasonal thing, so I can't give it too high of a rating. I mean, it's probably more likely than this.
It's got a seasonal requirement, and I don't want to drink it in the winter. And it's not amazing, so I'm going to call it an 8. No, I'll call it a 9, because seasonal.
I mean, you don't need those with it, really.
I do.
Arguably, you could have it with any chocolate. Because these are really just sugar and chocolate.
But they're also honey, and they're also a lot more than just chocolate.
True, but I think it's really the chocolate flavor that's complementing it here, so I'm actually going to go with a 6. I find it more drinkable than this.
I'm going to stick with a 9.
I'm
going to stick with a 9. So let's try it with Nesquik.
Kind of enjoy that. Then again, when has chocolate ever made something worse?
Oh, wow.
So,
doing that brings out so many more flavors.
So taste is a 1 with that? I love the flavor of that.
How much did you add for 1 glass, Dad?
He added more of those and put Nesquik in.
He added coffee, chocolate, and chocolate. That explains everything.
So, alright, for the modified version, add more Kahlua, double the Kahlua that you've added, double the, not double the Tippy Cow, but a little bit more of the Tippy Cow. I'd say about another quarter of the Tippy Cow.
And like a spoonful of the Nesquik?
Spoonful of Nesquik per glass. That's all per glass. And I mean, heck, if you put in the Nesquik before you blend it with the ice, that'll mix it up for you. So, add more Kahlua, add more Tippy Cow, add Nesquik.
We're not putting that down this year, but that is
not sponsored, and we don't
use.
use Nesquik enough to even bother asking to be sponsored. So,
Are there really other powdered chocolate milk mixes?
bet you there are.
But isn't Nesquik like the only name brand one in that category? It's kind of like Kleenex. There are other facial tissues, but even if you're buying the BJ's brand, they're Kleenex.
Fair enough. So, our math says...
I mean, they can't be worse than ass and bubble gum. This feels so much weirder than having it the other direction. Oh, there we go. There we go. This is weird. I'm a unicorn, Dave. And now I'm swag, Dave.
The cherry comes out as a 4 out of 10. And the zombie slide comes out as a 4.7 out of 10.
So both a little bit under average.
Both a little under average, although I have a feeling the Nesquik version of the slide would come out much higher.
I just not run the numbers, but at least a 6 or 7 probably.
Probably. As a set, they come out about average. They're not great, they're not bad, but by all means, I would encourage you to check them out as our first self-created drinks.
We're going to select the recipes in the description or something. That way they can just...
Yes, they're average, but we would encourage you to check them out, and we'll see you next month.
We have to do them together.
No, I can already tell you right now they don't go together. Oh, God, why?
Let's try this one to actually move my head. It melts the ice. How is that what this does?
Anyways, we'll see you next month with a shot that we've created on our own. The Fireberry Cordial. Have a good evening.
That is befuddling.